I will just announce to the people that as of yesterday, last night, there were 34,178 total number of active cases sa COVID. Ang total number of cases, whether active or not, is 47,873. As of July, there were fresh cases of 993, and yung sa already released because of a negative finding is 547. Cases reported as of last night was 1,540. Ang maganda naman dito, yung recoveries natin, actually reported as of last night, was 12,383. Ang patay natin is, we compared to those who recovered, it's quite small, 1,309 ang patay. Now, let me stress that whether we open a modified lockdown or we totally open it in wild abandon, kagaya ng Amerika pati Brazil, ang mga presidente doon medyo matatapang. Baka may pera, ito si Bolisuro. Medyo may pagka-Trump. And devil may care attitude. Tayo hoong pobre, we cannot afford really a total epidemic or pandemonium. Mahirap tayo. Hindi tayo pwedeng sumugal. I cannot follow the example of other countries because as the experience have shown as of now, there were a lot of countries also opening up. And first was Japan, then Korea, followed by China and the United States. Now, what really happened in these countries was that although they opened their economy for money to come into the government coffers, ang nangyari is there was a spike. They will have a problem of almost a relapse. Parang relapse in the totality of the number. Yun ang mahirap. Now, we do not even know if the number of 34,178 of active cases is still a part of the first wave, or have we arrived at the second wave? I don't think so. We are still grappling with the first wave. So, mga kababayan ko, ginusto ko man, ako mismo personal, gusto ko nang lumabas. Ayaw ko nang magpapigil. Kung gusto ko nga, magkipag-away na ako. Ang problema is, yun ang gusto ko. Pero ang gusto ko, hindi makapabuti sa ating lahat. And that is true for your choice and my choice. And so we have to be very circumspect in the opening of the economy. Dahan-dahan lang. And if ever there is going to be a spike again, baka marami ang infected or reinfected, at least yung calibrated numbers of people we allow to go out would be still within manageable numbers. Because if we open the entire Philippines and thousands upon thousands of new cases would happen, then we are in deep shit. Talagang mahirapan tayo. Una-una, wala tayong pera. Well, of course, sabi ng mga doktor yun, ventilators, yung paggamit niyan is the last option of a person sick with COVID. So there are still many things that can be done. Our doctors have, in the Philippines, have, innovated some sort of just meeting the crisis halfway. Some have resorted to melatonin, others have, pero yung quinine ay talagang, this was debunked by experts all over the world. It's not really for the use of COVID-19. Now, you want to know the places which have been declared modified or there's been a change. But this is a very dynamic thing. It can change every day depending on the numbers. And of course, upon the assessment of our health authorities. So I'll give the floor to Secretary Doggett to enumerate to you the places that have been modified total noon. Ngayon, makalabas kayo, and who are the sectors of society who would be allowed a little bit of a leeway, an elbow room to move. Hindi lahat ito. Sabi ko nga, I'm sorry but I cannot really, kumbaga, bitawan ko kayo. I will remove the leash yung tali. Pakulaan na kayo kasi hindi ko kaya ang the resultant happening or the resultant end game there is too horrible to ponder. I cannot make a guess. Governance is not made of guesses. It has to be anchored on pure science. Kaya naman, malapit na. I'm confident that by our readings of other countries who have much improved their scientific study, I think that by December, meron na hong vaccine. Or at least, if not a vaccine, a medicine that could kill the COVID-19. Ako, I would prepare that we use the medicine to kill, then get the vaccine later on. So, I give the floor to you, sir. Enumerate yung ano muna, yung in according to their severity, those that are totally locked na, and those already modified para malaman ng buong Pilipinas. Kayo yung may hawak ng listahan. And as I said, a dynamic one. It changes every day.
Magandang gabi po, Mr. President, at aking po mga kasamahan sa IATF and Cabinet at kay Senator Bongo. At magandang gabi po sa atin po mga kababayan. Ngayon pong gabi, ako po inatasan ng ating pong mahal na Pangulo na banggitin po ang mga sumusunod na mga lugar na sumasailalim sa ECQ, sa GCQ, at doon po sa tinatawag natin na MGCQ. Yung pong ECQ, ibig po sabihin nito, yung Enhanced Community Quarantine. Ito po yung pinakamahigpit na klase ng ating mga restrictions. Ito po yung ipinagbabawal ang paggalaw at ang pagbiyahe ng ating po mga mamamayan, lalong-lalo na po ang mga may edad at may mga kasama po mga tinatawag natin mga sakit katulad ng diabetes, hypertension, asthma, at mga iba pa po. Iisa lang po ang lugar na sumasailalim sa ECQ. Ito po ang Cebu City. Ang susunod naman po ang ating General Community Quarantine. Yes, sir.
Can you give us the reason why Cebu City has been placed in that kind of status?
Nilagay po natin ang Cebu City under ECQ dahil po sa malaking pagtaas po ng bagong kaso ng COVID-19 at ang kanila pong noong nagpasya ang IATF at inaprubahan po ninyo, Mr. President, ang case doubling time ng Cebu. Ibig po sabihin ng case doubling time ay napaka-maiksi po ang panahon, mabilis magdoble ang bilang ng mga kaso. It was below 7. Ayun po, that puts them at high risk. Isa po yun. Pangalawa pong dahilan ay yung tinatawag po natin critical care utilization rate, yung pong mga hospital nila, yung pong kanilang ward beds, yung kanila pong isolation beds, yung kanila pong ICU beds, at saka yung pong mechanical ventilators po nila, mataas po ang kanilang utilization. So ito po ay signal na talagang malawak po ang naapektuhan na mga komunidad with the COVID-19 cases. So, nagpasya po tayo na gawin pong ECQ para nang sa ganon mapigilan, magkaroon part of the containment strategy, Mr. President, para mabawasan ang reported new cases. At ngayon naman po, yun na po nangyayari, Mr. President. Meron po tayong report, but this is with Secretary Roy Simatu. We will get the official report soon, Mr. President. So dalawa lang po yun. Ang kanila pong case doubling time ay masyadong maikse, less than 7 days. That puts them at high risk, and their critical care utilization rate, mataas po ang kanilang paggamit. Ibig sabihin, overwhelmed na po yung kanilang health systems capacity. So dalawa lang po kung bakit sila inilagay under ECQ, dahil nga po yung kaso nila tumalon, Mr. President, masyadong malaki po itinaas.
Sir, may I just comment, if you'd allow me? Earlier in the days during the inception of the COVID-19, I had an occasion to observe different places in the Philippines. Sad to say, it is the province where I come from, and that is why I warned the residents there that they should not take it against me. We had all the warnings in place, and the police were very strict. But following the national direction, but it could only arrest so many so much. Ang nahalata ko kasi, sir, Cebu, nonchalant sila during the critical days sa pagputok nito. People were partying, gambling outside of their houses, in Talisay, that's in Cebu. Basta para sa kanila, baliwala. And sabi ko nga, kayong mga Cebuano, huwag kayong magalit sa akin. I'm a Cebuano and I have every reason to be concerned about the welfare of the province of my father. Ang sinasabi ko sa inyo, nawarningan ko na kayo noon that you Cebu guys are taking the warnings of the national government nonchalant. Maragway na hitabo sa Binisaya pa. Di mapod mo. Maragway mo too. Unya, nakita na ko, from all indications, gikan sa footage, pakuhaan ako ang kamera sa gobyerno. Aba, wala yun. Maragway, wala warning, wala tanan. Also, muna na ikaroon. Ang akong kuhan sa inyo, higay ulo. Dili to sigurong, except those who are really infected because they had to go out, they had to work, or if perchance, talagang tinamaan. Ang ayaw ko doon, sir, sa Cebuano, yung mga tao nag-iinuman, nagsusugal, pati nagparty.
Panghuli lang na sasabihin ko po kung bakit ang Cebu City ay pumasok sa ECQ, nag-escalate to ECQ. Yung particular sa isolation beds po nila, 90.6% ang kanilang utilization. And that puts them at very high risk. At ang kanilang ICU beds, ganun din po, 84.6% ang utilization. High risk din po. Kaya yan po ang dalawang dahilan kung bakit ay ibinalik po natin sila sa ECQ. Ganun pa man, ang nag-inspect po ang IATF at ang National Task Force with our chief implementer, guiding and assisting the chief overseer of the Cebu City pandemic COVID-19 management, si Sec Roy po. At doon po ay sinabihan po namin ang liderato at ang mga iba pong mga ahensya na talagang paigtingin po nila yung containment strategies po nila, Mr. President. So yung containment strategies, ang nakapaloob po rito ay ang mga sumusunod. Unang-una, ang pinaigting na isolation, detection, isolation of cases, tapos ang contact tracing, testing, and treatment. Ito po ay mariin na sinusunod po ng leadership ng Cebu City. Kaya we will be reporting in the next meeting with you, Mr. President, showing a downward trend in the number of cases. Ngayon po, yung mga ibang mga lugar po, yung mga nakapaloob po sa GCQ or General Community Quarantine ay ang NCR, ang Benguet, ang Cavite, Rizal, Lapu-Lapu City, Mandaue City, Leyte, Ormoc, Southern Leyte, at tatlong lugar po sa Cebu Province, ang Talisay City, ang Minglanilla at Consolacion. Ang susunod naman po na level, lower level, less restrictive, community quarantine, ang tawag po rito, modified general community quarantine with strict local action at there has to be localized community quarantine, zoning, strict enforcement of minimum health standards, scaling up of health system capacity, such as isolation facilities of overseas Filipinos, the locally stranded individuals, as well as close contacts. The provinces and the regions under MGCQ are the following. For CAR, Cordillera Administrative Region, we have Abra, Baguio City, Ifugao, Caliga. For Region 1, Ilocos Norte, La Union, Pangasinan. Region 2, we have Cagayan and Isabela. Region 3, Bataan, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, Angeles City. For Region 4A, meron po tayong Batangas, Laguna, Quezon, Lucena City. For Region 4B, ito po ang Palawan, Puerto Princesa City. Region 6 po, o Region 5 rather, Albay, Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Naga City. Region 6, meron po tayong Capiz, Iloilo, Iloilo City, Negros Occidental, and Bacolod City. For Region 7, kasama po rito ang Cebu Province, ang Bohol, at Negros Oriental. Region 8, Tacloban City, Western Samar. Region 9, Zamboanga City, Zamboanga del Sur. Region 10, Bukidnon, Misamis Occidental, Misamis Oriental. Cagayan de Oro. Region 11, Davao del Norte, Davao del Sur, Davao City, Davao de Oro. Region 12 po, kasama ang Cotabato, ang South Cotabato. Region 13 or Caraga, Agusan del Norte, and Butuan City. Samantalang po ang Bangsamoro Autonomous Region of Muslim Mindanao or BARM, kasama po ang Lanao del Sur and Maguindanao. Yung pong susunod na kategorya or classification, risk classification ng MGCQ na lower risk po, the rest of the Philippines. Lahat na po ng lugar sa labas po ng aking mga nabanggit, sa ECQ, sa GCQ, and the modified GCQ ay nakapaloob po sa tinatawag natin low risk, modified, general community quarantine. So, ilan po, Mr. President, ang aking pong naitala na mga lugar po batay po sa inyong kautusan. Maraming salamat po.
So, nandiyan ho yun. The Secretary of Health has given us the places where there are different kinds of quarantine that are being implemented. Again, just because you're allowing some of the sectors of our society to go out and work, it does not follow that COVID is not here. COVID will remain for all time. The only thing that would make it useless actually would be the vaccine. But the vaccine is a antibody produced by the body to fight. Ibang klase ito galing sa katawan natin. Yung isa naman, kung maaari yung pampatay talaga. But it does not guarantee reinfection or infection. So, I hope that we have satisfied the public of what to obey, what not to obey, when to do it, and when not to do it. Now, meron akong updates na binigay sa akin. Operations of MRT Line 3 will be temporarily suspended for approximately 5 days beginning July 7, 2020. It will only resume, at least in limited operations, once testing confirms that sufficient number of personnel are negative for COVID-3. So we are very careful na pati yung those manning, those equipments there will not jeopardize or put you in jeopardy while riding the trains. There will be a shortage at the beginning, but we will augment it with the number of increased buses using the line. Itong suspension of non-essential travel by Filipinos is now lifted. All exit travel restrictions are also lifted. Conditions for outbound travel of Filipinos. Yung Pilipino na gustong lumabas sa bayan niya, ito lang ang tandaan ninyo. And you can call us again, and we would be happy to repeat it to you again. The conditions for outbound travel of Filipinos are as follows. The submission of confirmed round-trip tickets for those traveling on tourist visas. This is not only a mandate dito sa Pilipinas. Yung mga lugar na puntahan ninyo, interesado rin na pupunta kayo, tapos aalis kayo pag panahon na. Adequate travel and health insurance to cover rebooking and accommodation expenses if stranded, and hospitalization in case of infection. Medyo mabigat ito. Ewan ko how much would be added to your expenses, but itong insurance, mabigat ito. Na kung while in travel, makasakit ka. Well, the best is Blue Cross, I think. Blue Cross would answer for anything while you are out of the country. Anything at all. You get sick, and you can choose even, I think, the hospital that you'd be checking in. Ano ito? But this is a very expensive proposition. Tayo, hindi tayo maka-afford nito. Yung ano lang. The Blue Cross is almost like a membership. Ito naman, ano lang ito, pangkaraniwan lang sa travel. Allowed entry by the destination country in accordance with travel, health, and quarantine restrictions. Ito nga kaya hinihingi na dito ngayon. Execution of a declaration acknowledging the risk involved in traveling, including the risk of delay in the return trip. This is so because COVID is still rampaging. Is there anybody who'd like, Secretary Galvez, you'd want to say something?
Sure, Mr. President, our Phase 2 of the new National Action Plan has been approved by the IATF last Thursday. And in order to address the resurgence of COVID and also make an opening on the economy, we have already formulated the plan. And with your indulgence, sir, we can present it to you, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, Mr. President, it is my honor to present to you and the public the salient points of the second phase of the National Action Plan, which was approved by the IATF last Thursday. It has three imperatives. The first imperative is the people's compliance and vigilance to the minimum health standard or the principles of people support. One of the major imperatives of the NAP is the changing people mindset that the success of our campaign is basically anchored on the people's support and active participation and vigilance to strictly observe and promote the minimum health standards and disease prevention. As you have said, Mr. President, that we have to concentrate on prevention. Since prevention will not only save more lives, but also save our critical resources. Hindi na tayo, sir, kailangan magkaroon ng extensive na healthcare na pagka once na we have able to prevent it. During the phase 1 of our campaign, Mr. President, we have seen that the areas with unity of command and unity of effort, we were able to manage and contain the spread of the COVID-19. We have models like Davao City under Mayor Sara, the CAR, the Caraga, the NCR, Region 6, Region 8, and Region 1 and 2. Unity of effort and collective leadership are key to our success. Our local leaders should be with us together with the private sector. So yun po ang kailangan po natin, kailangan po magkaisa tayo po. Dahil kasi minsan pagka po hindi nagkakaroon ng pagkakaisa katulad ng nangyari po sa Cebu na nagkaroon po ng hidwaan sa politika, talaga pong minsan po hindi po sumusunod ang mga tao. And lastly, we need the capacity of the national government and the LGUs to address and manage cases in order to minimize the fatality rate and deaths. Sa ngayon po, sir, maganda po yung ating healthcare facility dahil po yung atin po, nung nagagawa po kami ng tinatawag nating averaging from June 1 to June 30, 11 lang po ang ating average death. Sa ngayon po, sa ating statistics, from July 1 to 6, 6 lang po ang ating deaths. At ayun po ang nakikita po natin na if we address the rate of death, we can open our economy. Yun po ang pinaka-ultimate objective po natin, that we have to manage the debt like the other countries like Vietnam and also Israel, that we were able to address that.
John, and you have something to say?
Magandang gabi po, Mr. President. Doon po sa ulat ng ating Secretary Charlie Galvez ay binigyan niya po ng emphasis ang role ng ating mga local government units. At handa po yung ating mga governors, mayors, at barangay captains para ipatupad po ang ating second phase ng National Action Plan. Ang ating pong mga local chief executives, ang ating tinatawag na magiging information managers, sila rin po ang crisis managers at sila rin po ang leader to fight COVID-19. At handa na po at makikita po natin sa buong kapuluan na maganda po ang ginagawa ng ating mga local government officials. In fact, ay tumataas po ang rating ng ating mga local chief executives sa performance po nila. Nais ko na po kayong bigyan ng ulat sa iniatas ninyo sa akin tungkol sa pag-alaga sa ating mga LSI. Ito pong nakaraang weekend ay nagkaroon po tayo ng hatid-tulong initiative at nagpapasalamat po kami sa PMS, sa office po ni Senator Bongo, ang ating mga government agencies, katulad po ng DILG, DND, DSWD, DOTR, Department of Agriculture, DOH, OWA, DOT, ang Pasay City, LGU, pati po ang PAGCOR, ang League of Municipalities of the Philippines sa pangunguna ni Mayor Chavit Singson. Sa dalawang araw na po ito, July 4 and July 5, ay nakapaghatid tayo ng mga LSI sa iba't ibang region. Mula po sa CAR, Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 7, sa Bohol po specifically, sa Mimaropa, Region 10, Region 11, Region 9, Region 12. At sa buong weekend po na ito, ay gumamit tayo ng 92 buses, isa pong barko at isang PNR train. Nakapaghatid tayo ng 4,180 LSIs. Ito po ay part 1 lang sapagkat habang nag-uusap po kami ni Senator Bongo, meron po tayong gagawin uli na another hatid-tulong program. Maaari ito po ay sa last week po ng July. kapag po natapos na rin yung mga naka-quarantine sa ngayon, bunga ng mga inihatid nating LSI. At katulad po ng sinabi ninyo, wala pong LSI na matutulog sa kalsada. Lahat po ito ay kinukuha natin at dinadala po natin sa ating mga maayos na lugar. Dito po sa Villamor Air Base Elementary School, sa Philippine Army Wellness Center. Dito po sa isang part ng Libingan ng Bayani, sa MP Battalion, sa Philippine Ports Authority, pati po sa